serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Road conditions are slippery at this hour and may well get worse as the evening goes on. So if you have church plans or other outings on this Wednesday evening, take it easy on the roads and be careful on sidewalks and driveways.
Good advice. We asked Hutch to join us early with details on our no-wait weather planner. Hutch?
Well, a look around at area DOT cams near I-29 in the Grand Forks area can see some of the problem. We have some of that fog and mist around, and it's called freezing fog. We get liquid cloud droplets freezing on anything like your car's windshield or this camera lens. So slippery conditions are certain across the valley. Even here in the FM area, we had a dose all afternoon of light freezing drizzle and freezing fog. A little bit of snow activity showing up on the radar where you see the blue there. Where it's dark blue, maybe a few flakes actually drifting through the skies. The rest of us are seeing more of that muck. The gray, soupy skies continue across the valley. Temperatures warming out to the west. We have 30s out in the western Dakotas. Your planner for Fargo tonight, nearly steady temperatures. We'll have a south wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour and a continuance of this low clouds and haze and fog. Can't rule out renegade flakes of snow here and there, and isolated places up in northwest Minnesota. You guys are going to see just a dusting to a 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch of snow. Now, we have more snow in the forecast for Thursday, and then we have some warm weather to talk about. We'll do all of that coming up here in just a couple of moments.
All right. Thank you so much, Hutch.
What's now filled with water and ashes once stood as a place Laura Lempe called her second home for the last 19 years.
It's really hard to wrap my mind around what has happened. I would think of things that were in a cupboard or in a drawer or whatever, and I'm like, it's gone.
But now both she and the kids of Elam Children's Center have a new home thanks to a generous donation from the Boys and Girls Club.
It's overwhelming, and if I keep talking about it, I'm going to cry.
Lempe says as if that wasn't enough, every table, chair, and toy has either been donated by other centers or people in the community.
This is like Christmas to the kids. You know, they come in here and they're like, we've never seen these toys before. These are cool.
Lempe says, of course, there are some kids who are still shaken up by last week's blaze.
We do have some kids who came in today that said, I had to get a new Tiger because Tiger burned.
But she says for the most part, they're in great spirits.
Kids process things so different that we might see things come out over months.
Lempe says the center will run out of this location until the end of May, but isn't sure where they'll end up after that. As Elam officials say, it's still unclear when things will be fixed and everyone is able to go back inside.
Honestly, it's a day-by-day thing right now. We're just doing what we can to help the kids feel safe.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
And just to reiterate for you, the Childcare Center, Elam Children's Center, reopened today after being damaged by fire. Today's day went really well. The Fargo Police Department also paid a visit to the center, bringing bags of new toys and passing out stickers. Many officers were telling the kids they did a great job getting out during last week's fire.
2 people are in jail after authorities link them to several burglaries in West Fargo. 24-year-old Amy Fossum and 34-year-old Jermaine Strickland were arrested on multiple charges, ranging from drug possession to theft. When authorities pulled them over in West Fargo earlier this week, they found multiple credit cards that didn't belong to them, along with a machete, a knife, and 40 grams of meth. Police tell us they are not related to the felony gang, Lane Gang, or last week's other smash and grab crimes at local health facilities.
The 2 13-year-old boys who disappeared from West Fargo have been found. Family members say Brandon Morin and a friend disappeared last night and that they are safe.
A 34-year-old man is in jail after allegedly threatening to shoot up All True Hospital in Grand Forks. Jesse Jensen is charged with 1 count of felony terrorizing after the Monday night incident. When All True staff spoke to Jensen, they said that he threatened to light up the place and would come to the hospital guns blazing. The staff told police they believe the threat to be credible.
There's new information tonight on the investigation surrounding NDSU's Sanford Health Athletic Complex. The U.S. Attorney's Office found a long list of building violations regarding its lack of accessibility to those with disabilities. The settlement that NDSU agreed to says the school must fix the violations, and they include changes to concession stands, drinking fountains, and signage. The assembly area is another problem. The shack doesn't have enough wheelchair spaces, companion seats, and aisle seats. It's difficult for people in wheelchairs because spaces make it tough to see the events.
There was some citizens that were concerned about the facility after it opened up. We've visited with a variety of people about those concerns, and we're working on action plans to get all of the concerns addressed.
The Shack's facilities manager says they are hoping to get everything fixed well before the end of the year, and ESU is paying for the upgrades.
Fargo police are asking for your help locating these persons of interest. They are on your screen right now. If you have any information on their whereabouts, call the tip line at 701-241-5777 and reference photo numbers 158, 159, 160, or 161. Moorhead police are asking for help locating this individual. He's 32-year-old Gregory LaCroix. He's wanted for multiple open warrants, including theft of a motor vehicle, robbery, and fleeing in a motor vehicle. If you have any information about him, call police.
Today, Governor Doug Burgum laid out his priorities for 2020. For the second year in a row, Burgum took his State of the State speech on the road, rather than delivering it at the Capitol building. In his speech, Burgum spoke of a changing economy, while much of the state's tax revenue and economic interest is in energy. He said North Dakota is in a global position few other states experience.
But we're in a position now where the United States remarkably is the largest oil producer in the world. And what does this mean? It means that this is the single biggest geopolitical shift since World War II.
Officials say many in the state fought relentless moisture and flooding at the end of the year. The state is preparing for an abnormally active flood season this spring and unveiled a state website where homeowners can evaluate their flood risk.
A White Earth Nation activist described as a champion of the people has died at age 72. Marvin Manypenny died Sunday in White Earth. He's remembered as an American Indian land rights and sovereignty activist. Manypenny was described as a scholar of the tribe's constitution and treaties who had won the respect throughout the 6 bands of the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. Manypenny is the father of Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan.
A local organization received a gift this morning to help them provide for those in need. Olivia Schemp, an 8th grade student at Liberty Middle School and vice president of FCCLA, presented the Great Plains Food Bank with a check for over $800 this morning, or the equivalent of nearly 2,800 meals.
It makes me feel really great because I'm helping out the community in the best way that I can. And I used to live in an area where I didn't help and I didn't do a lot of stuff, but now that I'm here and I'm helping, it makes me feel really great.
Schemp collaborated with the FCCLA program at Liberty to raise money for the Great Plains Food Bank by planning and hosting a school dance with entry proceeds as a donation.
What a great effort. Later on Valley News Live at 6, stuck in China and wanting to get home. The difficulty for a Minnesota man caught up in concerns over coronavirus.
Gray skies, some fog, freezing drizzle.